profits, reoffending rates, capacity. It's entirely up to you how you achieve them. One last thing, the previous CEO Charles Wallace left behind a letter that he used to give out to any new prison architects who joined the firm. Am I a CEO or an architect? They're very different things. One's a sort of warden and one's an architect. He had some good advice. You may find it useful to take a look. Oh, that's the letter! You used to get a letter at the beginning of every new game. Good luck. Alright, pause things. So, this is the final one. Read the CEO's letter. Congratulations on completing your basic induction. You are now a fully qualified prison architect. Soon you'll be designing, building and running your own prison, starting from nothing but an empty plot of land and a few stacks of bricks. Before you get started, I thought I might share some important lessons with you. Every prison needs a warden. He should be one of your first hires. Build him a nice office and he'll open up a whole range of advanced facilities via the bureaucracy system. After the first part of the tutorial, the death row one, this was all you had to help you. Individual prison cells are expensive, especially early on when funds are very tight. Save money by starting with a single large holding cell which can be shared between many prisoners at once. Get your kitchen and canteen up and running before the first prisoners show up, and be sure to hire some cooks. Nothing irritates a prisoner more than an empty stomach. Building a prison is an expensive undertaking, and you need to become a master of raising large volumes of money through grants and contracts. You can access these grants through the reports screen. That's about everything. Good luck. Delete. And you see, that would never go away. That would never delete properly. Prisoner intake, raise money, build a prison is basically the game, actually. So I need to have at least 100 inmates and balance my bank account at 60,000. So I'm not getting a lot a day, but it's time to do this. So I know I sort of zoomed through the last mission by just saying, right, do this, done, do this, done, do this, done. But for this one, I'm going to take it a bit different, because this is sort of what the game is all about. This is essentially the introduction to the sandbox. So what I'm going to do is I will talk through what I'm going to do and then cut to it being done, which is similar to what I was doing before, but I'll explain things a bit better because it's completely my prison and all of that. So I hope that's the way you like me to do it. If it's not, I'm sorry, but by the time you comment on this, I'll probably have finished recording the series, unfortunately. But anyway, so first things first, I'm going to do a fence around the perimeter so I have my working zone. The reason I'm using fence instead of perimeter wall is that's $3 a square instead of 200. Perimeter wall is the ideal. You really want that on the outside of your prison because I don't think you can actually dig under it. I don't think prisoners can escape through it. Or if they can, it takes a fucking long time. Also, I've got it going over the road like that because you can have road gates which stop prisoners just bolting out across the road. I've also marked out these sort of towers because I think towers look really cool, and the idea is the fences all create this double perimeter, and that way it'll be even harder for them to escape, and when I have more money I can have patrolling guards if need be. So that's the perimeter fences done, including the road gates. You'll notice that all of these are open by default. I think that's until we have any prisoners in the actual prison. So you don't need to hire guards before you've built the thing. So here's the bit where what I would normally do will deviate in this series. So what I would normally do now is spend an hour or two planning the entire prison using the prison planning thing here. I won't be doing that because I think in a series it's more interesting to see it all come together piece by piece instead of it all just like filling in pre-drawn squares. So what I'm going to do is build it sort of as I need it, because I don't think I'll need to max out the interior space in this one, which I would normally do. So I'm going to sort of start in a corner and build as required. Oh, first of all, grants. Completely forgot about these. These have changed quite a bit since I last did. There are absolutely tons of them, including hidden ones. So, the point of grants is that they give you a cash payment in advance usually. Yeah, most of these have advance. And the idea was, beyond the initial tutorial and the letter, these were what guided you. So you'd build a basic detention centre, administration, health and well-being, blah, 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 blah. We need to raise money through the grant system, so this is actually one of the objectives. So I'm going to get the basic detention centre, which gives me a load of stuff I need to build. Like that. And then once I complete all of these objectives, I get money. So I reckon I'm going to have my power facility down in this corner. I'm going to leave it space to expand should I need it. So I'm also going to leave a 1x1 space around all my buildings so that people can't just tunnel straight out the fences. So it's a 3x3 inside, and I need to have one around each side, and I need to have space for the water one as well. So I think that's the correct size. We'll find out, I guess. So I need it's not. Damn. Okay, miscalculated. I miscalculated the size as well. God damn it, why don't I think these things through? I bet it's because I didn't count the outer wall. I never count the outer wall when I'm doing these things. Okay, that's right. So I put a power station there and a water pump there. And I'll also put on 3 capacitors here. Bit expensive, but it'll mean I don't have to worry about power for a little while. So I now have power to my facility. That is a nice happy step. Oh, and I do need to connect to this directly. Like that. This, I actually think, should be plain concrete floor. I don't know, I don't really like it in general, but I think for a room like this, concrete floor works. So that's the power facility done. Also, just going to mention it, the reason I'm leaving this on maximum speed even when I'm just thinking is because I'm getting positive cash flow. It's giving me money while I wait and think. So there's no reason not to just leave it going. So next thing is the holding cell. To be honest, I normally skip the holding cell. You start with positive cash flow and a nice bank balance, so you can just build a cell block straight away and not have to faff around with it. But if I get cash for doing it, I may as well do it. So because it's not going to be here forever, I'm just going to put a holding cell here, about that sort of size. And I'll, to be honest, I'm just going to get rid of it later because I don't like holding cells in general. I might have one in a sort of bigger facility later, but I don't know. Ignore that. I thought I'd put it there, then I realised it was way too close to where I planned to put the cell blocks, so I changed my mind. So a holding cell requires a toilet and a bench, but I like to put it in beds as well because it just makes anyone trapped in there a little bit happier. So it needs a bench, which I do have to put in, so I'll put a bench there. A toilet, I'll actually put in 2 there, and I'll also put in 2 beds. So the holding cell is designed for 2 people at the moment. I'll also put on a tiny adjoining shower. So I'll just stick that here. That's just so that the 2 people, or however many people in here, have somewhere to shower if they need to, which they probably will if they're, in prison and stuff, So I'll just put a shower there. And that requires shower heads. Put 5 in there, and I'll also put a few drains across the front, because I like that design on that other prison I worked in. So to beautify this, I'm going to go for concrete tiles in here, and white tiles for the shower. Again, only temporary, but that's complaining about the lack of canteen, which is on my list, so I'll get to that. So I know what I said about the planning, but in this game you do need to do a little bit of planning, because otherwise you'll just end up with a whole mess of stuff not working at all. So I'm not going to plan the entire thing, but this is my little quick thing for a cell block. It has a capacity of 40 people, so this is a fully sort of functional thing. I do need a yard, but to be honest, I could put that where the holding cell is. But it has a shower, a kitchen, canteen, a cleaning room, and 40 cells. I like doing them in even numbers so it's easier to keep track of sort of how everything's going. So for the purposes of this thing here, I'm just going to build the canteen and kitchen here, and then pretty much as soon as that's done, I'll get the cell block one, and build the rest of this. I made a slight miscalculation. I thought serving tables were only 4 tall, but they're 5 tall, so I had to knock off a thing here, which to be honest was part of my original design, but then I thought that would be wasted space around the tables, so my bad. So the kitchen and canteen, you know what goes in them. There's just the sink, fridges and cookers in the kitchen, benches, tables and serving tables in the canteen. So for these, I'm going to go for a marble tile kitchen, like that. And I reckon a wooden floor canteen would look a bit different to what I'd normally do. And I've left space for more benches if these ones turn out not to be enough. Same with here, there's space for more cookers or fridges. Although I think the bin's on backwards. Oh well, doesn't really matter. So I've done the majority of the basic detention centre now, so I'll hire some staff just to get it off my back about that. And there we go. So that's the basic detention thing, so it's given me another 10 grand. So let's have a look at more grants. So it still hasn't unlocked cell block as I need to have finance done, which is from the administration centre. So that'll be my next thing. Because that, oh, it does actually include finance as part of it. So that I'm going to build down here next to this. I do want to save space, but I think I'll expand it upwards. I think would look better than just going across. So I can have this attached to this. Offices are nice and easy. To be honest, they don't need to be very big. I don't like to give them massive offices. I just give them the minimum size because they're just sort of there and in the way. And they don't really have that much interesting stuff in them. But they just need an office desk, a filing cabinet. I'll actually give the warden 2 because I think, yeah, hire a warden as part of this. And the accountant can have 1. And a chair, which I like to put... To be honest, it's awkward. The computer's right in the middle. It's always annoyed me. There's more computer on the left, so I'll put the chairs on the left-hand side. And these, I think the only possible thing is to give them wooden floors. And a mosaic corridor. So there are the 2 offices, and now I need to hire a warden. There. Oh. Oh, Polaroid! I think I've already got that one. Damn, did duplicates show up? That would be horrible. Why did duplicates show up? But okay, fine. If you want that one, the accountant can have 2 things. Anyway, that's unlocked bureaucracy here, so I shall unlock finance. Doesn't take long at all, especially on triple speed. And there it is. So, accountant. I'm also, as you can see, almost capping this out, so I will add another 2 capacitors. So next grant, cell block A, that's unlocked now, so I'll get that. So that gives me 20,000 straight up and another 20,000 on completion. And for this, I need to raise my capacity to 15. With my massive cell block here of 40, I think I may be able to do that. But because it is such a massive building, I don't want to just build the entire thing because that will cost an absolute ton. So instead, I'm just going to put in the shower and this block here for now. And this one as well. So that way I've got the 15 and I'll be able to get some more money in and hopefully finish the cell block off. So I will need a door for that. I don't really want to have a door here, but I'm going to need to have one here just so it finishes the building. So that's that all built. So I'm going to go with concrete tiles for basically the entire interior here, but white tile for the shower. Cells and showers, I'm sure by this point you all know what is in them. But just in case, there's shower heads and drains in the shower, like in the mini one I put in the other place. This one I'm putting in more drains because there are more shower heads. And cells, they have a bed and a toilet. Now I just need to mark this as a shower, and mark these all as cells, and that should, yep, give me another 20 grand. So you see, I'm back up to 40. I am on a much lower daily thing because I'm now supporting 4 staff on top of all the workmen. but I now should have enough money to finish this cell block. So as it's pretty much all the same as that, I'll see you in a sec. And now I mark all of these as cells. So I now have a capacity of 42. And speaking of which, I'm going to demolish this. But I'm going to make sure I dismantle all the objects so that it doesn't just like get rid of them. Because I don't know if it does that in this version. It did in sort of the old one. If you set it to demolish a building, they just chuck out everything in it. And it was a massive waste of money and stuff. To be honest, I shouldn't have even put the floors in. I didn't intend to keep this building and I regret doing that. So, bulldoze, all of that. But yes, now that this is done, you can see I'm freakishly low on money. So I'm getting 29 every, what's that, 15 seconds? That doesn't really help me. So I need another one of these. Cell block B. Raise prisoner capacity to 50. Oh, damn, I'm just short of that. Okay, instead of getting another grant, which I'm currently not in any position to take, I want to choose them carefully because you can only have 2 at a time. What I will do is put in a yard. I should have enough money for a yard. And then I can get some inmates in and actually have some prisoners in this prison. But something I just thought of is I should have a storage room so this stuff isn't all out and ready for anyone to steal. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting in a storage room just so that all of that stuff is behind a door that nobody can actually get through. And also, oh, I can't do deployment. I require deployment to do deployment. That's something I didn't think about. Right, I'm going to get that just because, oh, I need to actually have a chief on staff. That's annoying. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to have to go without that for now. But I do need a yard, so to be honest, I didn't factor yards in. I completely forgot I had to have a yard. So I'll get rid of the storage room there. So they move it. Oh, that's not deliveries. That shouldn't be deliveries. Sorry, that should be storage. Apparently I misread. But yes, that's storage. They'll shift it all into that room instead. I reckon that storage? I clicked yard that time. For some reason, it's selecting one to the right of where I think I'm clicking. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just something I'm doing wrong, but yeah, yard here. And what I'm thinking is if I completely fence it in with only a large jail door to allow, actually if I put it there instead, a large jail door to allow access into this area. So that way when the prisoners are in, they're completely sealed in and they have to go through 3 fences to get out, or 2 fences and a fence and a road gate this way. So let's beautify this a little bit. I just have enough cash and then I should get some prisoners in.